Sir? Yeah, no, it was January 5th. But we doing it for the whole month because me and Marco. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. What was that? It was later. When your day? What day on your birthday? Oh, December 13th. Mine January 5th. So that's why both of us doing it together. So we hadn't had a meeting since both our birthdays.
Hello, happy New Year's, happy New Year's.
You know I'm a cookie monster.
You're now my cookie monster.
You know I'm a cookie monster. What's going on? Huh?
We don't have no presentation.
Don't make sense. I teach my boy. There's time, right? Oh, you did? It's like a little kid in the candy path. He was right up and down. I said, boy, look at it. Good play. Trying to get your attention, but he was calling. I was what? More and more, my body's there, but mine's not. See?
Good evening, everyone. This regular meeting of the Lancaster City Council is called to order on Monday, January the 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. At this time, we would have an invocation done by Reverend John Richardson, the president of the Lancaster Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance, and he's also with the Z Church here in Lancaster. He would do our invocation, and afterwards, the Pledge of Allegiance would come from Council Member Marco Mahel, and I would ask everybody to stand at this time.
May we pray. Eternal gracious God, we come again before your presence, and we thank you for these distinguished council members who gather themselves for the service of your people. God, we ask that you again crown their head with wisdom, give them knowledge. And as we conduct business in this city, we pray, Father, that equity and fairness would be on every level. God, we ask that you would bless the citizens of this city, that they may live in harmony. We ask that you would bless the commerce of this city, that it be prosperous. God, we ask again that commitment and conviction would not be curtailed or compromised, that whatever we do it for the glory of you and for the help and the blessing of this people. God, again, we thank you for these men and women who give themselves to the safety of citizens of this city. We ask your blessings upon the fire and the police and the first responders and hospitals. We ask your blessings upon our school systems, the polity and the practice of educating our kids. We ask your blessings upon the trustees and those who administer education. God, we're grateful again. Without doubt, we need you in this time that we're living in now. We ask your blessings upon us. Give us guidance, protect us, and we'll give you the praise and the glory. It's in the wonderful, immaculate name of Christ Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please place the flag. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We have one proclamation tonight, and I will read it, and then afterwards we will call our honoree and those who came with her. Whereas the city of Lancaster proudly recognizes leaders whose dedication and service positively impact students, families, and the community. Whereas Dr. A.K. Pereira serves with distinction as superintendent of schools for Lancaster Independent School District, demonstrating exceptional leadership, integrity, and a steadfast commitment to equity and academic excellence. And whereas Dr. Pereira has been named the National Alliance of Black School Education Josephine E. Hill Superintendent of the Year, a prestigious national honor recognizing superintendents whose leadership produces meaningful and measurable outcome for students of African descent. And whereas under Dr. Pereira's leadership, Lancaster Independent School District has achieved a 100% graduation rate for 4 consecutive years, expanding innovation, learning opportunities, and strengthening a culture of high expectation and accountability. And whereas Dr. Pereira works in close partnership with the Board of Trustees, educators, family, and community partners to advance student success and continuous improvement throughout the district. Now, therefore, I, Clyde C. Harrison, Mayor of the City of Lancaster, and on behalf of the City Council of the City of Lancaster, Texas, do hereby proclaim our sincere recognition and appreciation to Dr. A.C.T. Pereira for her exceptional leadership and her selection as the NABSE Josephine E. Hill Superintendent of the Year. Hold it, there's more. And extend sincere gratitude for her continuous service and dedication to the children and family of Lancaster. In witness whereof, I have hereby affixed my signature and seal of the City of Lancaster, Texas, this 12th day of January 2026. Clyde C. Hairston, Mayor of the City of Lancaster. And I'm going to ask the school board and all of you that came with her, we're going to take a picture. We appreciate this ongoing partnership that the city and the school system has. So come on, don't be shy. This ain't your first picture. It might be the first one for this year. But come on. Counselor? Yeah, I said yeah. That's the first one. See, Betty. I'm gonna have you at superintendent. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah, there's some over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on in. Congratulations. We're really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, on the count of three, we're going to do it 3 times, okay?
Go ahead, Jose.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one, guys. 1, 2, 3. Hold y'all's pose. Yeah, switch up.
The L, yeah, the L.
All right, L's, I love that all the way.
That means Lancaster, y'all.
That is right. 1, 2, 3. Hold it, we'll take a few. Awesome, thank you.
All right, would you care to have words or anything like that?
Yes, please. I just want to say I have accomplished nothing on my own, so I do want to acknowledge my team that is here, my leadership team that really has made this possible for me. I know, as a superintendent, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I know for sure that I've done nothing in my life without the help of good people. And if I can't do anything else, I'll tell you that I'm going to hire good people. So I have here Dr. Barker, who's my deputy superintendent, Mr. Kendrick Brown, who's over our athletic, Ms. Cherish Pickens, who's our newest executive director of HR and hometown girl, as well as Ms. Krista Cromer, who's over our special ed department, Ms. Bell, who's over our accountability, as well as Ms. Yvonne Thornton, who's over leadership, Dr. Jackson, who's over our student services, another hometown grown, Ms. Kimberly Simpson, who's over our communications. So again, because of them, I stand on their shoulders and gladly receive this honor. Thank you, City of Lancaster.
Superintendent.
Oh, yes, wait, I have a board member, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
And I do have a board member here as well who also makes this very possible and the support. I have probably one of the best boards I've ever worked with now, supporting the work that we do every day on behalf of our kids. So that 100%, again, it's not me, it is actually my team that really does go out and about for our students. So thank you for the honor and the pleasure of serving. And I'm finishing up my 5th year. I'm looking forward to another, 10. Not 5, no.
10.
Hey, you never know.
10.
You never know now. Never say no.
We'll see. Again, thank you for the honor. What's Ms. Opal? Thank you for the honor.
Okay. You mentioned about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
I want you to know there's nothing in this room but good. The bad and the ugly, they must slip in somewhere.
Again, I appreciate the honor.
Oh,
Thank you,
no,
sir.
congratulations. Mhm. All right, at this time, we would have our public testimony citizens comments. Citizens who have pre-registered before the call to order will be allowed to speak on any matter for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council action or discussion may take place on the matter until such matter has been placed on the agenda and posted in accordance with law. Anyone desiring to speak on an item scheduled for a public hearing is requested to hold their comments until the public hearing on that item. City Secretary, do we have any?
Yes, we have Charles Smith, 205 Marnique Drive, Lancaster, 75146.
Is he here?
Okay, I do not wish to speak, however, please record my opposition for agenda item. Council recent PID board member selections. Okay. Ijeoma Onijeka. I'm sorry. I practiced it before and I still didn't get it.
No, you tried. That's good. All right. Is it my time?
Yes.
All right. So good evening, everyone. I appreciate being able to speak here tonight. I first want to just quickly address my concern about the new City Hall building. From what I've read, the projected cost of $30 million, potentially doubling to the $60 million total repayment over time. I believe it's going to be a significant burden on the taxpayers like myself, and I ask council to start to engage with the community and conduct a survey to be able to get the opinions of the citizens. I believe that we need a building that's going to be able to serve the community rather than just the staff inside that building. And I've seen other thoughtful proposals that were included, such as community spaces, so I believe that these really should be considered. But now moving on to more pressing concern about my community and the recent PID board appointments for Rolling Meadows. So during the last council meeting, I believe in December, there were 3 qualified applicants that were removed, and those individuals had either no community engagement or participation. Some of those were appointed in their place. And as a dedicated PID board member, I've served for the last 2 years, and I've worked directly with the community members and invested countless hours of work in building processes, sourcing vendors, etc. So it's a little bit frustrating to see these efforts overlooked despite qualifications and this continued and demonstrated commitment. It's also concerning that the council didn't consider the recommendations that we provided for certain PID board members in our community, specifically Antrin and Maritza Gonzalez. And I did reach out to about 5 of the council members here via email, call, voicemail, text, and I only received 1 response, which was a little bit concerning. And it seems that maybe we've got, an opportunity here to correct that. I'd like to see more engagement, given that lack of response. But I believe that we can correct that going forward. So that's why I'm here today. So moving forward, there are some issues I want addressed with the current board. Specifically, one of the PID board members demonstrates a conflict of interest due to a spousal connection with a city council member, and another member has shown a lack of integrity and a pattern of non-participation and or collaboration in our PID group. And I also want to highlight, there's become now, with this new appointment, we've got an imbalance of PID board members. Our community is divided into three phases, 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2 were created about 15 years ago, while phase 3 is newer, and we make up about over 30% of the entire community, yet we only have one representative at this time on the board. So I ask that City Council ensure that we reconsider and bring at least 2 PID board members from Phase 3 back onto that board so that we have more of a balanced and fair representation. I'd like to see that reconsidered at a future agenda or a future City Hall meeting. So I'd ask that Council consider adding that to a future agenda so that we can correct that imbalance and help strengthen our community, because I believe we're going to be regressing at this point with the current board that we have. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have more. Sorry.
That's all right.
Next, I have Leanne Peterson, 2508 Elliott Avenue, Mansfield, 76063.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight during Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, a month that carries deep meaning for our family, the fire service, and this community. Tonight I want to speak about my son, Brandon Peterson, of the Lancaster Fire Department. Brandon was a firefighter who proudly served this community for over 10 years, answering calls without hesitation, putting others before himself, just as firefighters do every day. Like so many in the fire service, Brandon was exposed to toxic carcinogenics as part of his job. Those exposures ultimately led to stage 4 lung cancer, a disease that took his life far too soon. Brandon's cancer was not hereditary, nor was it random. It was caused by the work he did to protect the citizens of this community. His story is a painful reminder that cancer is now one of the leading causes of firefighter line-of-duty deaths. The dangers firefighters face don't always come from collapsing buildings or raging fires. Sometimes it comes in the prime of their life, quietly, relentlessly, just walking through the bay of a station, sitting at the station dinner table, or even sleeping in a bunk room next to a door that does not close properly. Before the sirens start to stop a call. Honoring Brandon means more than remembering him. It means protecting the firefighters who are still serving today by supporting cancer prevention efforts, early detection, clean gear practices, policies that recognize long-term health risk of this profession. As we recognize Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, let us honor Brandon Peterson, all fallen firefighters by ensuring their sacrifices lead to meaningful change. Thank you for your time, and please do better in standing for our firefighters and their families.
Next, we have Eric Peterson, 2508 Elliott Avenue, Mansfield, Texas, 76063.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city manager, and Chief Johnson. Thank you for the opportunity tonight. I'm not going to say it as well as my wife did, and I'm not going to repeat a lot of those things, but I just wanted to remind you and emphasize that firefighter cancer is a real thing out there, and it is the #1 killer for line-of-duty deaths. And Brandon was one of those 5 years ago. 31 years old. What I want to ask tonight is just, I trust that the fire department is doing many of the steps to prevent cancer, reduce the cancer, more reducing the cancer. And that's by having a second set of gear, cleaning their gear on fire scenes, and taking all those proactive measures to reduce those risks back in the station. As you do your budget, just keep that in mind. I would if you don't have cancer screening in your annual assessments for the firefighters currently, I encourage you to look at that being part of the assessment. In fact, just providing sunscreen is going to help with the skin cancer, which is very common. And look at your current systems. I know in Brandon's case, climate vent systems were not working. That's the diesel exhaust removal systems from the station. They exist today in your stations, and I think you have some additional monitors that are in place. Be sure you put in budget to where those are maintained, and if we need to increase them or replace them, then that just needs to be there. Again, protect your firefighters. Make Lancaster the proud fire department that it should be by having the quality equipment and assurances for your firefighters. Thanks for listening to me tonight. It's been 5 years. It just kind of still hits home. And when January rolls around and it's Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, as well as his death was 5 years ago. So anyways, thank you for listening. And thank you again for this opportunity to speak.
Next, we have Kat Desquitado, 512 Bermuda, Lancaster, 75146.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and neighbors. I'm here tonight to express my concerns with the new plans as well for the city, the new City Hall building. I feel as a resident there has been really a lack of engagement and feedback from our end. I do believe that there are benefits for having a new City Hall building. However, I feel that more feedback, more meetings with the direct community with concerns about this specific plan would really be beneficial on both ends. I'm also here tonight to talk about concerns about my direct PID community, Rolling Meadows. I want to express concerns with the latest appointment of the board members. With the board overseeing hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars, they play a huge role in the direct community and ultimately help determine whether our community moves forward or stalls. And at a minimum, board members should consistently attend meetings, understand issues, and actively participate in the decision making. Yet several individuals who are appointed or reappointed have demonstrated limited attendance and minimal engagement with our PID prior to the selection. At the same time, qualified applicants who regularly attend the meetings, contributed ideas, and have been a huge part of our community were not chosen. As a resident who attends PID meetings, this was really troubling to witness. Our community is already experiencing stalled projects, unresolved concerns, and the real risk that significant PID funds, nearly $250,000, may go unused. That's not just a loss of money, it's a loss in progress and in trust. Public trust is built when appointments are based on demonstrated involvement, consistent participation, and a clear understanding of the community, not simply on applications that are submitted on paper. I respectfully ask that the council to reconsider appointment of the new board members. Rolling Meadows deserves a leadership that shows up, listens, and acts in the best interest of the residents who fund their district. Thank you for your time and for allowing me to speak on your behalf and on my community.
Okay, next we have Antren, 102 Martinique Drive, Lancaster, 75146. I do not wish to speak, however, please record my opposition for City Council recent PID board selections for Rolling Meadows. Then we have Maritza Gonzalez, 404 Bermuda, Lancaster, 75146. I do not wish to speak, however, please record my opposition for City Council Rolling Meadows PID board selection. And next we have Rashawn Ford, 211 North Henry Street.
I was about to say, you're not going to say my address?
Sorry.
Mayor, members of council, first let me just say Happy New Year to you all. It's an honor to get to serve this community once again, one more year, 2026. I know the team is excited to get started, to hit the ground running once again with a year full of events and full of promotionals. So to get started this Wednesday, January 14th, the Parks and Recreation Department is hosting their second three-point basketball contest. It went amazing last time. If you have the opportunity to come, there was over, I want to say, 20 different contestants in the competition. I got out there for a second, schooling everybody. It was a lot. I didn't want to do too much, so I had to go quickly. That is going to be at the Lancaster Recreation Center this Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. There is a registration fee for entry into the contest, but you can go right on our website and purchase that registration fee of $20. Again, that is at 1700 Veterans Memorial Parkway. This Thursday, January 15th, is the Inland Port Mayor's State of the City address that is hosted by the Inland Port Area Chamber of Commerce. This is an opportunity for the mayor to address community leaders, sponsors to the Inland Port and their business partners on all of the happenings in Lancaster's future. The theme of this year is Lancaster, a city on the move. And so I won't give mayor's address, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys are up to date on that event. That is going to be at the Lancaster Recreation Grand Hall this Thursday the 15th from 11 until 1 p.m. RSVPs are being managed through the Inland Port, but you can go on our website to get routed to that registration as well. This upcoming Saturday is the MLK Parade and Showcase. We are super excited about this year. We have a huge number of participants in the parade for us that have come out they're going to come out this Saturday to be a part of this celebration. The celebration is going to begin from the town square at 11 p.m. Dignitary reception begins at 9. After that, the parade starts at 11 from the town square going down to the Coliseum, where we will have the showcase at the end of that with a sponsored HBCU band. So we're super excited to have Langston with us this year to perform at the showcase and be a part of the parade. Again, that is this Saturday, January 17th. And last but not least, this next Saturday, July 24th, is our, January. I've been saying July all day. I'm so sorry. January 24th is the Built for Better Wellness Fair. That is our community wellness fair. That is going to be at the Lancaster Recreation Grand Hall. That is going to be from 10 until 1, and that is free and open to the public as well. Thank you so much.
All right. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right. That moves us to our consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and are generally enacted in one motion. The exception to the rule is that a council member may request one or more items to be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and action. At this time, I would ask the city secretary to read those items into the record.
C1, consider the approval of the minutes from a regular meeting held on October 27, 2025 and November 10, 2025. C2, consider amending the contract with Forvis Marvis LLP to increase the total annual fee for auditing services from $85,000 to $106,000.
All right, council, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 and 2.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 1 and 2. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain say abstain. It carries. All right, that moves us into our action item number 3, City Secretary.
Discuss and consider confirmation of Civil Service Commission appointed as designated by the city manager.
All right, City Manager.
Mayor, members of council, the City of Lancaster Public Safety Departments, police, and firefighters operate under Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 143, which is our state civil service statute. And the law requires that we have a 3-member civil service commission, with the city manager making a recommendation to the council for confirmation of that appointment. Mr. Audley Logan, who is serving currently as chair of the Civil Service Commission, did recommend reappointment to the commission, and I am respectfully requesting that you reappoint Mr. Logan to continue serving on the Civil Service Commission with his term that expired in December, requesting that you reappoint him for a 3-year term, which would expire in 2028. And I'd be happy to answer any questions should you have those at this time.
All right, Council, do you have any questions for the city manager? You heard that we need to have a motion to confirm her selection. Do you
Mayor,
have any
I make a
questions?
motion to confirm the city manager's selection of Audley Logan for the civil service.
I second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to confirm the city manager's pick of Audrey Logan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who oppose, say no. Those who abstain, say abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to action item number 4, City Secretary.
Discuss and consider a request for a variance from the city's alcohol distance requirement to allow alcohol beverages sales within 300 feet of a church from a property located at 118 Historic Town Square.
All right, City Manager.
Mayor, this is the city secretary's item. I'll refer to her for comments.
All right, City Secretary.
Mayor, council, this item is a request for a variance for the city's alcohol distance requirement to allow alcohol beverage sales within 300 feet of a church. The property located is at 118 Historic Town Square, Historic Lancaster Theater, LLC.
All right, Council, what's your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve item 4.
A second.
Oh, okay.
I think it's important, but I think this council's already made 2 variances for alcohol already on the square. And I think this property is going to be the furthest one away out of those 2. So I'm all in favor of this. I think if, the modern times, if you want to have a nice place, a nice social event, alcohol is definitely wanted by the customers and patrons. So I think it's important to move into the 2026 and now allow alcohol in this area. I think it's very important for it to be successful. I think this is something that if we continue to do, I think we need to look forward to maybe doing something permanent if we can, where they don't have to do this. And also I talked to the owners of the square. Y'all really got to figure out what y'all want to be. Do y'all want to be churches? Do y'all want to be bars and restaurants? Because that way we don't want to keep doing this. So, but y'all are the ownership. Y'all lead what y'all want for this. Y'all lead the vision for what y'all want for the square, not this council. So please figure it out. But anyways, I'm fully in favor of this. Thank you.
All right, Council, as you know, this is a request for a variance.
Is that a second?
Yes.
A second, sure.
You had a second.
I second.
Deputy Mayor Pro Tem seconded.
Deputy. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 4. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, say no. No. Those who abstain, say I abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to action item number 5.
Discuss and consider a resolution ratifying the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the Lancaster Economic Development Corporation, LEDC, and Civic Solution Partnership, LLC, for consulting services related to the update of the Economic Development Strategic Plan in amount not to exceed $175,455 from funds collected from the 1/4 of 1% additional sales and use tax.
All right, City Manager.
Mayor, members of council, our Economic Development Director, Shane Shepard, will be the staff liaison on this item.
All right.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council and City Manager. This agreement is with Civic Solution Partnership regarding the consulting services to update our economic development strategic plan, as was stated. Our last one was done was adopted in 2019, and we worked as that. This is our guidance from then until now. The purpose is to set forth policies to promote recruitment and try to from different business sectors and to diversify the economy. The result of these plans is to increase the total valuation the community, raising median wages, and increasing retail choice and maximizing the uses of vacant land. So 7 companies made a bid for the request for proposal, and 3 were brought in for interviews. And Civic Solutions was selected for recommendation to the Economic Development Board, and the Economic Development Board approved the terms and conditions to be ratified on December 18th, to be ratified by y'all tonight. So there's 4 phases to their activity. 1, investigates the current business climate, workforce availability, and economic development initiatives already in place. Phase 2 benchmarks what we're doing compared to other communities, and the consultants will look at commercial corridors and vacant property to study the opportunities and constraints that currently exist. Phase 3, the consultants will host a roundtable and have one-on-one discussions with stakeholders in the community, and there will be a community listening session as well to engage everybody in the city. And then Phase 4 is the final plan, which will be brought back to you for adoption. The expected timeline is 6 to 9 months from the night that the contract, and the investment we'll be making, like she said, is $175,455, which is in the current budget that was adopted back in September. Other cities that this company has worked with is Austin, Terrell, Mesquite, Saxe, and Buda. And staff recommends approval of this grant as it is presented, and we'd be happy to answer questions, and the consultant is here also.
All right, Councilor, do you have any questions?
I don't have a question. I have a comment. After reading through, I really was impressed with the company itself, especially working with similar cities, that can come in and actually go right to work, instead of having to go through all that other unnecessary changes. So I really do appreciate that part of it, especially when I looked at Terrell and I looked at Mesquite, and then that academy there in Austin. I was impressed. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none. Oh, somebody's hand.
No,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I concur with Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Gooden Davis, because I was equally impressed in that their plan is very thorough, and the fact that there is engagement even in the community,
yes,
reaching out. That's a very important piece.
I like to give kudos to Shane for, his performance and the ability to do what he's doing. So I want to let him know that we appreciate him as well.
Thank you.
All right, one of the hardest working men here at City Hall. All right, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve action item 5.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve action item number 5. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstain say abstain. All right, it carries. That moves us to action item number 6. City Secretary.
M26-07, discuss and consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a revised development agreement with Historic Square Properties, LLC, relating to building material and landscaping for the development of property described as Lot 1, I-5, and Block 2, out of the original town of Lancaster, addressed as 150 Historic Town Square, City of Lancaster, Dallas County, Texas.
City Manager.
Mayor, members of council, this is a request to consider the revised development agreement with the Historic Square Properties, LLC, for the development of a boutique hotel at 150 Historic Town Square. You will recall that this item came before you at the December 8th meeting, and that was to approve the development agreement. And at the time, there were variances that the applicant needs to receive related to items on the property, which will be discussed in the next item. However, it requires an amended development agreement, and in the next item, which is a part of this, why I'm bringing it up, one of the variances is the placement of the dumpster. And staff is not recommending approval of placing the dumpster on public property. And so you would need to have a affirmative action to accept the development agreement with that recommendation prior to considering any action you take on the next item, but also that the applicant would need to sign the development agreement accepting the terms. And while he signed the first agreement, he has not yet signed this development agreement agreeing to the terms of the project. And so the applicant is here, but if you have questions for staff, we'd be happy to answer those at this time.
All right, Council, do you have any questions or comments?
Do they need to sign it before we vote on it?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have, I believe, the draft here. They would not necessarily need to sign it before you voted on it, but I believe staff would require the signed development agreement before the variance item that's heard next would be.
So we can vote on this, but if you may have to table the next one, what you're saying?
Correct. If they're not here to have it signed and notarized.
He's here. He's here.
Can you sign it now?
Where they at? Are they here?
Yes, the applicant is.
Oh,
present.
he in the back, okay.
He would have to sign prior to you.
What is the, with the dumpster, review that again?
He's requesting to place the dumpster on city property that is facing Dallas Avenue, and staff is recommending that the dumpster be placed on the property, or the applicant identify a means within their site to dispose of their garbage, and not placing a dumpster pad site on the public property that faces Dallas Avenue.
You understand?
Yeah. Can that come back at another time?
The whole item would need to come back because the development
If he
agreement.
doesn't sign it, we can't vote on it. That's why, if you're willing to sign it, we can move forward.
So is that the next item?
Correct.
Before we vote on that, he would have to sign.
I'm just not comfortable voting on it unless it's signed.
Yeah.
He said he's not signing.
Yeah.
What was that?
He said he's not signing.
Yeah, come on.
He just said he's not signing.
Last month,
Hold on. State your
Brad
name.
Reuter, 304 East Redbud Lane, Lancaster, Texas. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Last month, we agreed on it, and I signed that agreement. And the dumpster was to be off premises, and if the town square cannot come up with a reasonable location to put a new dumpster on the south side, then I would put it on premises. But this agreement says it has to be on premises. So all the businesses on the square do not have dumpsters on their premises. So I would be the first one to have a dumpster on my premises. It'll be a brand new building, and who wants to see a dumpster right there? And it's taken up 3 or 4 parking spaces, valuable parking spaces. So the north side dumpsters, well, the dumpsters for the square in general is a big problem. With all the businesses that have come online here, the dumpsters are overflowing. It's unsightly. It's disgusting. So we need to relieve pressure on the north side dumpsters by providing a south side dumpster for use of all the businesses on the south side, including my building, which takes it off premises. So economic development has, and we're looking at various locations right now with participation of all the business owners, so we can fix this problem once and for all moving forward. And so at the last minute, y'all slid this in saying that I had to have the dumpster on premises. So I'm not signing that. That's been my stance all along, is that I do not want it on site unless I have to, but we can find better options. And so we're in the process of finding those options right now. And I thought this was going to be just a formal thing that gets it approved, but this might be a sticking point. So there's a problem.
All right, stand up. They may have questions. Do anybody have questions? Yeah, I see.
Once Marco speaks.
Okay, go ahead, Marco.
Yes, sir. I'm fully in favor of your development here, 100%. The only issue I do have issue with the dumpster. And I do have the issue the way the current city council the way the city right now has a dumpster for all the square. I have a little bit of issue with that because that's the taxpayer subsidizing private businesses. I wish each business could figure out how to control their own and manage their own dumpsters and waste. One of the things I'm not in favor of is is right now currently, anywhere else in Lancaster, you have to keep your trash on your property. And so I think this shouldn't be a different situation. I think if it's your trash, you need to keep the dumpster on your property and not use public land for that. But I'm fully in favor of this. I want to work with you to figure out how to get there. But right now, putting a dumpster off-site is not on public property public property is not an option for me. So, and I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this since I was 8 years old. The square is small. It has a lot of development issues, and we're getting there. And it's starting to get a little bit of growth, and now we're starting to see it. I'm 100% in favor of you. I'm not sitting here tonight to be against you. I'm definitely trying to work with you. But the dumpster is something we got to figure out, because I cannot let the taxpayer subsidize that.
Well, the dumpsters are a town square problem, not a me problem.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I think City Hall uses these dumpsters, and what we need to do is keep it clean too. Mm-hmm. So a periodic cleaning, a power washing of the ground, because the juice is just dripping down on the road is unsightly.
I think, can I speak? I think you're 100% right, and I agree with you. And I think you're pushing an issue that the city needs to look at. And it's not fair to you that the other businesses can use a city-provided dumpster, and you can't. And I get a lot of complaints about how nasty that dumpster is and the juice that flows out of there. I think the city, you're pushing an issue that all the businesses in the city need to figure out how to make it better for everybody, because it's unsightly. It's not fair to other enterprises in the city. And so I think you're pushing an issue that we need to look further into.
Well, and I've looked into the use of the dumpster by all the businesses too. And actually each business is charged for the use of that dumpster in prorated equality. So on their water bill, it shows up as debris removal for that dumpster.
I agree, but I think we need to have more and move them somewhere else.
We need more, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm proposing a south side location.
Yeah.
And the magic word here is grandfather clause. In my building, I'm going historic. I'm trying to blend in as well as I can to the design, to the element, to matching up to the town square 100% with the landscaping and the trees and the lighting and everything. So it will look as if it was built back in the day. So grandfather clause. And the dumpster is involved in that. The only place you can put it is on the street. So you'd be looking at a dumpster at this brand new building. Oh, isn't that pretty? And you got a dumpster sitting right there, stinking up the place. So there's better places to put one. And economic development has actually, but we're looking at other locations, but they've actually said, yes, you can use this one location, which is beside or behind the ice cream cone place and to the left of the credit union.
Shane's saying no.
Who said that? Who? Come here, Shane, because you're shaking your head no. We just need to get clarity on it. And why you standing, my question is any other options? Is that the main, that's the only option that we
still
have
negotiation?
for?
No.
I would just.
I'm sorry.
Is it still negotiations, the dumpster?
But
There have been some explorations about some trash uses and there's different sites, but that's had come up in conversation, but not a promise on negotiation. Nothing like. I mean,
what is that, Shane?
Different locations.
That's why I called you up.
Yeah, sure. Different locations around.
Behind the snow cone. That's a no.
That's not. It's not.
That's
it's not staff's decision.
Okay.
You've
Just
had,
for clarification.
you've had
Go
businesses that had a dumpster there that they were required to remove it because it was not authorized to be on the site. And so to turn around and tell another business that they can put it there, and you've already made two other businesses remove their dumpsters from that site location, is the basis behind our development team's recommendation that not be the site for the dumpster. There are trash compactors. There are other opportunities and options that the developer could consider related to disposal of the waste. Yeah.
Okay, that's because that was my question. If it was that the only option that we have before us, do we have other options, or you have other options?
We had an informal discussion, but that's an informal discussion, but it's not a staff decision to make, and as Opal was saying.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Ms. Bettis, want to speak?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Brad, I'm really in agreement with Marco. I do I'm very impressed with your plans, especially for this particular development. But at this particular time, I do understand you're not signing. And, the only thing as a council that we would probably have to do is table this, because there are other options out there that are available. It doesn't have to be a big old dumpster, so we just have to figure out something that's going to work for you, sir.
Yep. Like I said, we're in the process of determining where the good sites are.
Yeah.
So the north side dumpster, they want it moved to somewhere else. Now, where is the question? On the north side, so it's not too far to walk. We've actually suggested a couple of concierge services where we do it all the dumpsters off-site and it's picked up at night. So there doesn't have to be any dumpster on site anywhere on the square, which would be the ideal scenario. But like Lacaille, they take out their trash 4 times a day, so that wouldn't work for them. But the regular businesses, it would work. On the south side, economic development land is one option. We're exploring other options, but I'm waiting for feedback. I've already sent out everything. We've started the process. I'm waiting for feedback for all the businesses. So that's the dumpster thing. So the agreement I signed last month was for off-site dumpster, or if you can't figure it out, figure out a good place for everybody, then it would be on-site. So that says, yes, you can do it off-site if you can get approval. So let's go ahead and sign the agreement. Let's move on. But if you can't find one in the process, then you have to put one on site. And I'm okay with that. I signed that. But now y'all changed it up, and it's you have to have it on site. And that's a non-starter, sorry.
So they changed it from off-site or to on-site, and then they changed it to on-site only. Is that what you said?
That's correct. So this search for the perfect location for all the square is thrown under the bus because somebody's going to make me put one on site when I'm the only one that has one on site, and grandfather clause comes in. I want to be like the rest of the square.
So why was the agreement changed?
So
The variance recommendation is what has to be in the zoning portion of, which is your next item.
Well, I remember last meeting we voted on it. It was just zoning only. It wasn't for the
You had to bring the
development.
variances back.
Right.
And so with the variances,
So he never signed anything that said that the dumpster could be offsite.
he said the building materials development agreement that he signed related at the last. So you did approve at the December 8th,
We
2025
approved
meeting.
the zoning only.
You had to approve a development agreement
Right,
to allow the
right, but the
zoning
zone- right.
because he is there are building materials state law.
So the development agreement says that you can have a dumpster offsite?
It says that we would negotiate
Okay.
where.
So we're here now
And
negotiating.
that's exact. And so
Okay.
we bring this back to you saying, it said we would have to negotiate.
So it never said technically that it was going to be on-site, off-site.
Off-site.
It just said negotiable.
And that's why we had to bring the variance item back.
Because I do remember talking, I guess it was the December 8th meeting, talking about a trash can.
That is correct.
So now it's back in Mr. Brad's court, where you need to, for us, do your research and find another way or a better way that can.
yes, I'll
satisfy
continue to
us.
do that. But this current agreement says that it has to be on site, not off site or on site. So I'm stuck.
So where we at tonight, we can approve the first item, but
Item
in
6.
order for the second one to be approved, you would have to sign that agreement. If you already said you're not going to sign it.
Well, y'all slid it at the last minute, slid in that you got to have a dumpster on the location.
We didn't.
Not y'all.
Yeah, we didn't slide.
I want to know who did,
We
though.
just.
It's not slid in. The conversation has always been.
The community. So we're negotiating. And so you propose the contract that
And
way.
there's no plan on where the dumpster, so we can't approve a variance.
How big is your total site?
Granting.
half an acre, not even that.
Yeah, less than a half acre.
Talk about this.
Again, because people were trying to get understanding.
I gotta go.
We're trying to get understanding.
We
All
wasting
right.
time talking.
But we
If he
do-
ain't gonna sign it, why we wasting time talking about it?
The thing,
Just trying to figure it out and work with them.
It is.
It's .21.
We have negotiated.
It's
We're
.21
trying
of an
to
acre.
negotiate with him.
What?
0.21, it's not.
What I'm saying is give me time to find the perfect location for the north and the south side.
If he doesn't.
It's like, why y'all?
Tell him no.
You want to table? I make a motion to table agenda item number 6.
Do we have to table both?
No, table it. Let's go.
City attorney.
You can't approve the second one with
I
that.
would just.
You can't approve the second item.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You don't necessarily need to table 6 and 7 together. If there's a 7 is for a public hearing.
Can we table it? We haven't even opened
But you could.
We can go ahead and table it
You
all
could table
together.
both. You'd have to probably renotice the public hearing, but you could make a motion to table 6 and 7
Well,
together.
I made my motion for table item 6 and 7.
Hold on.
Second.
Hold on. Any other council member have any comments before we make this motion? Any question? What about the public hearing
You can
part
renotice.
of?
If you table,
because
we
you
would
had
renotice.
People had comments on
Yeah,
that.
it could be
So we can-
renoticed, so if staff doesn't have any objection, then 6 or 7 could be tabled together.
Okay.
And the only question would be, is it tabled to a date certain, to the next February meeting, or?
I guess whenever the applicant, whenever staff and the applicant figure it out, bring it back.
Okay, so tabled indefinitely?
Do you want
Yeah.
to
Is it,
Yeah.
how soon, I guess how soon do we want,
You'll sign tonight?
I want to sign it now.
Well, sign
you
it.
were what now?
Back to the original.
Well, we didn't have an original, right? The original just said that the dumpster was negotiable. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Come up here,
Thought we
because
just
I
denied and then
don't like
figure it out.
you talking from the pews, but come up here
How this shit ain't figured
and
out.
let us, who is that?
You still have one person that wants to speak tonight regardless.
Sir,
I don't want to read what he says. He says it. So
go ahead, but the original.
Where's it specifically say? Trash will be provided to all site. Shared dumpster enclosure. It said must be approved by City Council and Lancaster Economic Corporation. Yeah, it's still pending approval.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where we are today.
Well, this is the.
David, do you have a problem with this contract? Because you're the attorney. Let's figure this out.
I believe
decide.
I believe the original contract contemplated a mutually acceptable solution being recommended and brought forward by staff. It is still in that area. So if I may make a recommendation, what it sounds like is there needs to be some further negotiation to find a mutually agreeable solution and brought forward. So maybe a motion to pass 6 and 7. That way it doesn't stick it on a specific date, but when it's ready, staff can bring it back before you. So the motion would just be to pass, so no action would be taken on 6 and 7, but you don't have to stick it on a specific.
We just pass. Skip over it.
Yeah.
Is there a motion for that?
Sure.
I just do that?
You can do a motion to pass action on items 6 and 7.
Okay, I make a motion to pass action on items 6 and 7.
I second.
We did have a public
Hold
hearing
on.
item, and she did say she still wanted to speak, so just wanted to note.
She can, but because she's, whoever it is, she's aware of.
Well, she want to speak.
Okay, I'm sorry. So someone is going to speak on 7?
Okay, good.
Miss Clark. She wants to, what she want to speak on?
She have a
Item
solution.
one or what?
That's her the solution.
Seven.
I like solutions.
Did you want to speak? Because you did fill this out. Is it all right?
Well,
David?
you're not on item 7 with the public hearing
I
yet,
thought
so
you
you're
had both.
going to have to separate them. Yeah, 6 isn't a public hearing item.
So we'll go back to our original motion to pass agenda item number 6.
Second.
All right, and then we can come back. All right, there's been a motion in a second to pass item number 6. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain shall abstain. All right, that moves us to action item number 7. Public hearing, sorry. City Secretary.
M26-03, conduct a public hearing and consider an ordinance granting a special exception to 2.3.6 and 3.0 of the Downtown Design Overlay District, 14.101B2A of the Lancaster Development Code, and 24.02.008B2 of the Code of Ordinances, requesting a variance to lighting, window, building height, material, percentage, landscaping, open space, and dumpster location requirements on the property known as Lot 1-5, Block 2, out of the original town of Lancaster, addressed as 150 Historic Town Square, City of Lancaster, Dallas County, Texas.
All right. City Manager?
Yes. Mayor, members of council, the public hearing item before you is for property address is 150 Historic Town Square. The applicant is proposing to develop a boutique hotel on 0.21 of an acre in size. The future land use plan and the comprehensive map are consistent with the applicant's request. The applicant is proposing to do a 3-story mixed-use building that will include a restaurant, microbrewery, day spa, hotel, and a rooftop lounge. The applicant is requesting several variances to the codes as they were stated in the caption reading. Regarding lighting, there's no street lamps that are proposed. The street lamps exist on South Henry Street, South Center Street, Historic Town Square, and across from the development on Cedar Street. The variance to not be required to have lighting more than 80 feet off center is required because the applicant is not proposing any additional street lamps. On the windows, the applicant is required to have windows on the upper level not be spaced more than 6 feet apart, and from the above ground level, and the windows need to be operable with insets, faces 6 inches minimal. Some of the windows that the applicant is proposing are vertical versus horizontal, and they are spaced more than 6 feet apart, and they do not meet the spacing requirements. Therefore, a variance is required. On the height, the applicant is requesting to build a building outside the height requirements. All buildings should be a minimum of 24 feet and a maximum of 35 feet, with the exceptions of a city hall complex with a maximum height of 45 feet, not including any tower elements. The applicant is proposing a structure that exceeds the 35 feet with 36 feet and 11 inches, thus requiring a variance. On the materials, the applicant is not meeting the materials requirement that is within the development code. The exterior elevations feature cast stone, concrete, and stucco as the primary materials with metal accents. However, the proposed masonry and glazing do not meet the required material standards. The city does have an adopted historic district, so you are allowed within your historic district to enforce those material regulations. The applicant is proposing a variance to those requirements. The applicant is also requesting a variance to your landscaping requirements based on Henry Street, Cedar Street, Center, and Historic Town Square. We have the following landscaping requirements with 20% of the roadside, consisting of 50% trees, and a percentage of those can be evergreens. You also need large canopy trees, with a percentage of those being native plants and shrubs, as well as other shrubs and grasses that could be allowed. The applicant is proposing, they're required to provide 138 square feet of shrubs. 427 square feet has been provided that exceeds that requirement. However, they are not meeting the additional ground coverage as well as the minimum landscaping requirement along the roadways, and they are requesting a variance for those landscaping requirements. And so in addition to that, there's the dumpster site location request. And the applicant is requesting to have a dumpster off-site or to identify a site off-site for the dumpster location. And again, this has been considered. It was noticed on December 24th. Notice appeared in the public newspaper of record, The Rambler. Staff mail notifications to all property owners within 200 feet of the subject site. Zoning sign was placed on the site. There were no letters received in support or opposition to the request. Staff is recommending approval of the variance request with the exception of an off-site dumpster. And that we are recommending that the owner provide on-site requirements for their disposal and it be maintained by the property owner and our tenant. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
All right. I know we've been back and forth, but Council, do you have any questions for the city manager?
Do he want to sign that one?
This is the zoning request, and it would only be for council consideration related to the granting a variance with an exception to your development code as well as your historic guidelines and ordinances.
And Staff recommend approval.
We're recommending approval of all of the requests to deviate from the code with the exception of the dumpster.
Okay.
And wasn't it suggested that we pass both up? City attorney.
But we're only here because the citizen wanted to speak.
Mayor, yes, I believe that it's staff's preference that this not be considered until the city has an executed development agreement. However, I think the impetus for having 7 was some members of the public wanted to speak.
Right. Is there a solution?
So, yeah, I think our recommendation would not be to take action on it tonight, but my understanding is there's correct to pass without action as with number 6.
But do we still want to hear the citizen solution?
I'm going to open up the public hearing and give people the opportunity to come and speak.
Okay.
All right. If there's no more questions or comments. So at this time, I'm going to open the public hearing portion of this meeting. City Secretary.
We have Ellen Clark, 954, Nokomis, Lancaster, 75146.
I'm so glad y'all have this rail over here. I've been on the square, Ellen Clark, 954, Nokomis. I've been on the square a long time, and this trash issue has always gotten worse and worse, and it's going to continue to get bad as more development comes on the square. Those dumpsters are awful. Each month I pay $40. Everybody on the square pays $40. I don't use that dumpster. Well, how much trash does a real estate office have? Some paper. I take it home and put in my recycle bin. And I also pay for a dumpster over here because I manage these apartments. And so if I've got that kind of trash, I take it, as well as other people who dump as they clean out their garage. Right now I got a mattress laying over there. Not any of ours, but I've got a mattress if y'all need one. My suggestion is that you look at the 200 block of West 1st Street. The city of Lancaster owns a piece of property there that's big enough to handle all of this. It's closer to the restaurants than the other side, the south side. And this dumpster is supposed to be restricted strictly to City Hall and to town square businesses. It's not open to people who just come by and throw everything in. It's supposed to be padlocked, but it's never padlocked. This area I'm talking about is partially in a floodplain, but at 84 years old, I've never seen water on it. And there was a building across the street on the corner there that faced Maine that blew down in the tornado. It was there for probably 50, 60 years, and it never had water in it. So I'm sure it can flood, but the odds of it is not going to flood. This piece of property is next to that creek, this side of the creek, right across from the auto repair place there. There's not another residence around there. They're parking, it's growing grass and weeds and collecting trash. I think that it's off the beaten path. It's not something that everybody in town is going to see. Every time they go to the post office, they see this. So if they got a bag of trash, and they even bag of trash at the dumpster I have, they throw it out of their window as they pass by, and it passes over the back and breaks. So I have to pay somebody to clean up all the time over there. And if you took that piece of property and you put a privacy fence on it, maybe against city code, but if you put the chain link next to the creek because of the fact that it could get water, we don't know. Never has. But if you did that and asphalted that lot, put you a gate on the front big enough for the CWD to back their truck in there and dump it. You get a compactor, and that compactor is paid by the restaurants and the people who use it. Not people like me who pay $40 and never put anything in. And you think about the businesses on the square that don't use that dumpster. Really have no reason for the dumpster. A lot of the businesses don't do that. They go in those little trash cans in the corner. You know, in each corner they have this, and the city parks department gets to empty them. That's where they put their trash. Even though some of the smaller restaurants, that's where they put their trash. They don't take it down there. But if you had that with a code on it, but also had a small side gate with a padlock on it, big enough for people who would want to take from the town square, the city hall, to take their trash in. But I watch the restaurants. They have these little wagons, and they put their trash on it, and they cart it down over here and dump it. It's maybe 2 blocks that way where they're walking a shorter distance this way, but it's a lot closer, and you're going to be out of the way. You don't want that dumpster to be so visible, and you certainly don't want it. You got rats and everything else walking. I watch at night. The pack rats walk around the top of that fence. But if you had a compactor, that would eliminate your rats, and it would be an entrance off of First Street. You might even go on Main Street and do a little landscaping or something there on that fence there, but so that it's sort of secluded and people don't see it. And there's so many people at that auto place all day long. I mean, it's back and forth. So people during the day are not going to go down there and dump their free trash. You know, they think that's the place you get rid of everything that you don't know what to do with. And it would be an out-of-the-way place. You prorate the rent so that tenants on the square who use very little pay less, and that compactor costs more. It's going to be negotiated. You're going to have to get some figures and all of that to see. But it would be get rid of an eyesore, and when that building across the street opens, it's ugly now. When you have visitors to the square and you watch grease run across the street and pack of dogs come and tear up, it's a horrible thing. But it's been there, and moving it on 130 or over on the parking lot over there is not going to get it. It's just putting off something that needs to be solved. How you solve that and how you pay for it, I don't know exactly. But it's not, we pay for our trash. We don't get it free, Mr. Mejia. We pay for that trash, even if we don't use it. You said we were being subsidized by the taxpayers. We're not. We're paying our rent.
No, you are. If it's on public property, that's subsidized. You're not paying for land. You don't pay for parking. You don't pay for anything like that. Any other developer that does anything has to provide their own parking spaces, their own dumpsters.
Hey, we all came and got variances on that because my building covers all of my property.
Hey, y'all know y'all back and forth.
My property, my building covers every inch of my property. I don't know about Mr. Reuters exactly how that's going to be, but most of the buildings on the square cover their entire tract of land they own. But it's just the way we have to have a place to get rid of our trash. And I'm making a suggestion. That's a piece of property that belongs to the city. How that works out, but it's a negotiation point that's convenient. And as more businesses come to the square, there's going to continue to be a problem. That's a large enough a piece of property to work something out on it. It's off the beaten path. It's not in everybody's face where they know. And you can lock it up. You can pull in. It's far enough back. Can't throw it out of their window into the dumpster. And they do that here too. Just passing by and throwing it, hoping it hits somewhere. Right now, it's filthy out there. It's filthy. And so I'm just making a suggestion, and I think it makes sense. And I don't know how you work it out, but it's a suggestion, and I think that it's an option, a very good option. It's convenient, and it would get the things out of sight, away from the public streets where people coming down 342 or going to the post office or coming to business on the square. And the business people on the square would have to walk a few blocks, but it won't hurt them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is anyone else in the audience care to speak on this item? Anyone else?
So again, we're in the process of studying the perfect location, and we're trying to shortlist it down, and that was one of the options. There's a couple other places off-site. There's a couple more places on the north side and south side. So we're in progress to do that. So I would like it to be to where I can get my project approved. I'll sign right now. Off-site, or if we can't figure it out, then on-site. But don't force me to be on-site.
All right. City Attorney, where does that put us? Because he was saying that he would sign.
I believe his intention was to sign the original agreement, leaving it still open to negotiation, which at this point, especially with number 6 already passed, I believe the recommendation would be also to pass number 7 without action.
All right. With that said, I'm going to close the public hearing. Council, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion to tape or pass over agenda item number 7.
A second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to pass public hearing item number 7. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those who abstain say abstain. Ladies and gentlemen and City Council, before we go into our executive session, we have our state senator, Royce West, in our audience, and anytime you have your senator in your presence, you certainly want to acknowledge him. And I don't know if he's here to bring them late Christmas gifts or he wanted that. But Senator West, stand up. We appreciate your presence. And do you care to have any words?
Of course. Just a few, though. Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you very much for the opportunity. I've had the opportunity of representing this city for some 30-something years. When I was in high school at Wilmer Hutchins, we used to play in Lancaster High School. So I've been in this area for a long time. And I live in DeSoto right now. So I hadn't moved at all. And my business is located, my law office is located in the southern sector of Dallas. This past legislative session, I had an opportunity to work with the city, also the governor, and to make certain that the growth that you're experiencing here in Lancaster can continue as relates to getting different grants from the governor's office and making certain that they are used here. You're growing, and you're working together. The fact is that in terms of my slogan, I want to make certain that I'm working with people that can work together, regardless of their color, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sexual orientation. We have an opportunity here in the southern sector to continue to grow. I went to a function this evening without going, Dallas Regional Chamber Executive Director, and he termed that this is the frontier, and we've got to do everything we can in order to make sure we continue to grow. We don't need all of the traffic that they have in the northern sector. We've got to manage the growth and make sure we do it right. So I appreciate each and every one of you and what you guys are doing here in the great city of Lancaster to represent citizens. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Senator. All right. With that said, that moves us into our executive session. Item number 8, City Secretary.
In accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, the City Council will convene an executive session to consider the following matters. 1, Section 551.074A1 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation duties, or dismissals of a public officer to wit outside legal services bond counsel.
All right, Council, it is 8:17. Meet us in the conference room.
I figured when you read it, I was like,
I'm not sure what's going on. Like I said, I was able to see everything tonight from home, but I got on my own.
Salden is looking to be at work tonight, but as soon as he works later, he gets most of his work done. It's a lot easier to update people's computer when they're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm swinging the hammer, carrying tools. All day long.
While the data plan is
You ever get bored? You have a house. 10 hours a day. Oh, no, go. Get your lunch.
So did you break your office in?
Take off? Yeah, I gotta get up 4:30.
That's what I really want.
I guess he's going to the bathroom. You make it more pretty out there. I was wondering if it was he speaks enough to ask where the bathroom is, and that's about it. His mom speaks more Spanish.
Yeah.
She's like, I can teach you, and I'm like, yeah.
Thank you.
It's somewhere in there, you know, you'll injure your head one day, and we'll flood it back to you.
It does not throw Bajo anymore.
There are people who will wake up from a coma and speak languages that they learned as a kid that they completely forgot. One day your brain just rewires itself and everything's still in there. You just have to.
Especially the conjugations. Hard. Where am I now?
I can say you can't read without you better. When we got the Instagram thing this weekend, it was all in Spanish. She's like, what does it say? I'm like, I don't know. We watched the video and he's driving, so I tried to explain it to him. And he got to the stoplight and he pulled it up on his phone and it translated it into English. He was like, he said, the couple in the trash can. And he's like, you missed a few key items. I'm like, well, it was already playing when I opened it, so I missed the whole sheet. The dumpster closer and still missed it.
Break the whole way.
It's such a small property. It's going to take difficult for them. But
Are you
legal Zoom? No, my family has downstairs now. I feel really bad because my husband is an orthopedic doctor. Every medicine goes wrong in our house, in our family. He's like, you know what it is? And I'm like, but you know. I called him, I'm like, hey, I know this isn't your specialty. It's going to get. So I was like, this is your specialty. Here, in chocolate. My mother was like, it was waffles. Thank you. Because all I need is too hard to find a good contractor. You can't go in.
When they're down and is everything loose?
It's a giant computer that puts the radio on the air. Or a bunch of little computers. That's more like it. We can take you out here and see one if you want. It's in Cedar Hill. You don't even have to deal with the spiders. You don't touch it. Once you don't touch it, you can't feel it. Heck, most of the stuff he has. Yeah, it's quick. Oh, bond is right. Okay. One person.
Oh, okay. That was so comfortable. I must say, thank you.
As a matter of fact, I ate 3 of them. All right, council, we are reconvening into open session at 8:26. City Attorney, I see you standing up there.
Mayor and council, as you know, you retain a bond counsel separate and apart from your general counsel and other specialized litigation or project counsels. Weston Associates LLP has been your counsel for many years, but they are updating their engagement letter. I've reviewed it. It's very standard, and I believe staff is recommending adoption. So at this point, we're bringing it forward for a motion for adoption of the bond counsel engagement letter with Weston Associates LLP.
All right.
Motion to approve the updated bond counsel Weston Associates.
Second. All right, there's been a second and a first and a second to approve Weston Associates. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those who oppose say no. Those who abstain say abstain. All right, it carries. Council, that concludes our business tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. We have 2 birthday boys in the audience here, Councilmember Mahale and Councilmember Robertson. Their birthday, was it this month? One was in December, and one was this month, I believe January the 5th. And we want to wish them a happy New Year and a happy birthday. Now, there's a reason why they have happy in front of happy birthday. I want you to be happy, and then a happy New Year. There's a reason why happy is in front of those 2. So be happy. Now, they have cookies and I think chicken and greens and, well, this is a new year, isn't it? All right. So, anyway, we want to celebrate them. We did we have a motion to adjourn?
Not yet.
All right.
I thought y'all gonna sing happy birthday to us.
Do it one-on-one. Do it one-on-one. All right. There's been a motion in a second to adjourn. We are adjourned. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those who abstain shall abstain. All right, we're adjourned at
Marco said, I thought you were ready to go.
8:29.
Somebody took all the cookies.
Somebody took all the cookies.
That table is
What?
Carol.